Into this video, I will show you the best strategy to use to finally make money with trading. I make thousands of dollars per month with this stupid simple strategy. And if you follow the right steps, you will do this too. I will also show you chart examples, so stick to this video at the end. There are 3 steps with this strategy. Number 1, mark highs and lows on the higher time frame. Wait for manipulation on one side and execute trade and manage positions such as stop loss and take profit. So here is a visual example, as you can see right there, and we need to mark key levels on the higher time frame. So we need to see on the higher time frames which high and which low can get marked out. In this case, let's just say we have a liquidity right there and a liquidity right there underneath. And then step number 2, we wait for manipulation on one side, either on the upside or on the downside. And in this example, we managed to do this on the upside. And let me tell you something, 99% of traders that lose money is because they do this one mistake. Every time the market push past a high, they quickly buy and they put a stop loss underneath, which is a big mistake, and this is exactly where they get stopped out. They think that the market broke from a level and goes higher from now on, but this is exactly the mistake. This is where the manipulation actually happens, and this is where 99% of traders fail. So we will take the trade at the opposite side. Every time the market push past this high, we try to take the trade to the downside, or every time the market push past this low, we always try to take out this high. And that's exactly why 99% of traders lose money. They just are unprofitable because they don't understand that you need to wait for manipulation. We first need to wait for manipulation and then for us to enter the trade. Always wait for manipulation. That's exactly why 99% of traders, they don't understand this. That's why they lose money and they are unprofitable. Let me show you the way I do this. So I wait for a manipulation, the market goes higher, takes out this high, for example, and we have a low right here. And then I wait for the market to reverse and to go lower. I wait for a break of structure. In that case, we have that break of structure right here. As you can see, market push past this low, and then the market forms a fair value gap, or one of my confluences. In that case, it's a fair value gap right here. And then I wait for the market to retrace, and once it retraces, I'm gonna switch to the 1 minute for my 1 minute model. And once my 1 minute model plays out, I actually take the trade right here. And this is exactly where I make a lot of money off of. Now let me show you chart examples so you understand this better. Alright, so don't forget, step number 1, I mark out highs and lows on the higher time frame. So the first thing that I do is I mark out my sessions. So we have Asia session right here, London session, and New York session. I always trade New York session, and I advise you to trade New York session as well, okay? So I mark out my highs and lows on the higher time frame. Okay, we are on the 1 hour right here, as you can see, and I mark out my highs and lows. So we have a high right here. Okay, this is a bullish candlestick and a bearish candlestick, and then we have a low right here. Okay, so this is a bearish candlestick and a bullish candlestick. We also have a low right here, and right here we actually have multiple lows, but the market already took those lows out. As you can see, it took out before before New York session, and I want the market to take them out while it opens the New York session. So we have a high right here and a low right here. So I'm gonna switch now on the 3 minute, and I'm going to wait for the market to manipulate one of those lows, either the upside or the downside. So let's see what's gonna happen right here. Boom, the market takes this low, and I'm gonna wait for my model, which is a break of structure and a confluence, such as fair value gap or break a block, okay? And then I'm gonna wait for my 1 minute model. Boom, as you can see, we broke structure. Okay, so this is the high and the low. So this is the high. We actually broke structure to the upside. So I'm going to mark out my fair value gap. We have a bullish fair value gap, and we also have a 3 minute break block. The break block is really big, so I'm gonna focus on the fair value gap, and let's see what's gonna happen. So in this case, because it's gonna hit the fair value gap first, I'm gonna actually use the fair value gap as the first priority confluence. So I'm now gonna wait for the market to retrace. Boom, it retraced. I'm gonna switch to the 1 minute, and I'm gonna wait for a 1 minute fair value gap. Do we have a 1 minute fair value gap? Exactly, right here we have a 1 minute fair value gap. Once it retraced into this 1 minute fair value gap, I'm gonna enter directly. So I'm gonna already put this ready, okay, and once it touches, it's gonna automatically enter the trade. So let's see. Boom, I took the trade. I'm gonna now put my stop loss underneath the 5 minutes. Okay, and then I'm gonna put this up right here. So this is a not so good risk to reward ratio, but this is within my model, and I actually take it. So we'll see what's gonna happen. Boom, it actually works, and this is actually the official trade that I took. I will show you this on the screen. This is the actual trade. This is really live. I really took this live. This is the proof right there. I really actually took this trade. Okay, I'm gonna only show you the trades that I actually took. Okay, so yeah, This actually turned to play out, and yeah, it was beautiful. So right here we actually have another example. So this is gonna be the high, this is gonna be the low right there. We actually have multiple lows. We have the first one and the second one. Okay, I'm gonna wait for the market to manipulate. Let's see what's gonna happen. Boom, the market manipulates and goes higher and breaks structure directly. So this is the break of structure right here, okay? And then I'm gonna wait for my confluence, which is a breaker block. This is a breaker block right here, as you can see. So we have the first confluence, which is the breaker block. Let's now see if the market retraces into it. So does it retrace? No, it doesn't. It actually goes higher. However, it creates one fair value gap and a second fair value gap. So we actually have two fair value gaps now. And I'm gonna now prioritize my fair value gaps, okay? So we have a fair value gap right here. Does the market touch that fair value gap? Let me see. Boom, it touches that fair value gap right here, as you can see. So right after the market retraced into this fair value gap and touched that fair value gap, I'm gonna retrace into the 1 minute. So now I'm gonna go to the 1 minute and I'm gonna wait for the market to create a 1 minute fair value gap. So will it create me a 1 minute fair value gap? Boom, we have that big fair value gap right here, and I'm gonna then enter once the market retraces into it. It touches into it and I'm gonna take the trade right here. I'm gonna then put my stop loss underneath this wick. You know what, I'm gonna put this underneath this wick, okay? And then I'm gonna target this high. Boom, so this is a good risk reward ratio. Let's see if that plays out. And boom, it plays out, as you can see. So that was the second example. Now let's go into the third and last example. So let's now go into the third and last example. I mark out my sessions and I have a high right there. It's a little bit far, but it still counts, okay? And this high already got taken out, so we don't care about this high, okay? Then we have a low right here. I'm gonna retrace on the 3 minute and I'm gonna wait for the market to manipulate. Let's see if it does. Boom, it actually manipulates, and I'm gonna wait for a break of structure. Do we get a break of structure? Boom, we have the break of structure. This is the break of structure, okay? So, and I'm going to mark out my breaker block, bearish breaker block, and I'm going to wait for the market to retrace into this breaker block. Boom, the market retraced. I'm gonna switch to the 1 minute and I'm gonna wait for the market to create me a fair value gap. In this case, it already created me a fair value gap right here. As you can see, a bearish fair value gap right here, okay? So let me show this on the 3 minute again. So boom, this is the 3 minute and this is the 1 minute. Once the market touches that fair value gap, I'm gonna wait for the market to touch that break block too. And once it does, I'm gonna then enter the trade. So I'm gonna enter the trade right here, okay? Because the market at that time, the market didn't touch the breaker block. It touched the fair value gap, but not the breaker block. So I need the market to touch both. So I put my stop loss above this breaker block and I target the low. Now this is a very big risk to reward ratio. You actually can take maybe partials right here. You can take 50% of your position right here if you want to, or if you want to, you can just, extend it to the maximum, but I usually don't do this, okay? So we'll see what's gonna happen. Does it actually work? Boom, and as you can see, it works. This trade took really a little too long, but as you can see, it works. Now, don't get me wrong, you will also lose. I don't want you to expect to have a 100% win rate. It doesn't work. I obviously don't want to sell you a dream, okay? So after the video, don't think that this is the one magic pill strategy and you will never lose. Of course you will lose, but you will have more wins and your risk to reward ratio will be better and should be better, because without a good risk management, every strategy is not profitable. So that was my stupid simple strategy, okay? I hope you enjoyed. I hope you found value in this video. Now don't get me wrong, you still need market experience to truly unlock and master this strategy, okay? So link in the description for my Discord if you actually want to get mentored by me for only 3 months. If you want me to take your hand and walk you through profitability for only 3 months, then apply it. It's linked in the description, and see you in the next one.